5 food recalls that could poison your family. What if the food you bought this week, the shrimp in your freezer, the cheese on your sandwich, the sausage on your breakfast plate, were ticking time bombs waiting to sicken your family? Across America, food recalls are exploding like hidden landmines, and yet most shoppers haven't even heard the warnings. Over 41,000 pounds of frozen berries tainted with hepatitis A, 32,000 pounds of pork with fake USDA labels. More than 5,000 pounds of cheese crawling with listeria. These aren't distant headlines, these are items already in millions of homes. The terrifying question is, how many families have already eaten them, poisoned by trust itself? When regulators delay, when corporations hide, and when our shelves are stocked with silent killers, who is really protecting us? Or are we being abandoned to gamble our health for the sake of corporate profit? This is the Downturn Report. Tonight, we expose 5 food recalls that could put you at risk. 1. The Walmart shrimp scandal. Let's be honest, you never thought about buying danger when you walked into Walmart. But as of August 24th, an FDA alert confirmed something almost unthinkable. Shrimp sold under Walmart's Great Value label has tested positive for cesium-137, the same radioactive isotope that poisoned Chernobyl's forests. Imagine that. A bag of shrimp in your freezer glowing with the silent legacy of nuclear fallout, waiting to be fried up with garlic and butter as if it were just another weeknight meal. How do you protect your family when the very food you trust becomes the weapon? Cesium-137 doesn't wash away. It sneaks into your body, pretends to be potassium, and lodges itself in bones and organs, where it can quietly burn you from the inside for as long as 30 years. Do you really think Walmart put a label on the freezer saying, "Buy one, get one cancer"? The shelves stay stocked, the cash registers keep ringing, and shoppers are left holding radioactive leftovers. And this isn't Walmart's first betrayal. Over the past few years, the chain has been caught selling expired meats, phony organic produce, and canned goods with hormone-disrupting chemicals. To Walmart, it seems cheaper to gamble with our health than to admit fault. If radiation was detected at 4 American ports, how many shipments slipped through unseen? How many bags are already sitting in pantries, thawing in sinks, sizzling in pans right this moment? We're told to wait for a formal recall while Walmart keeps ringing up sales. How much more proof do we need that the system is rigged to protect profit over people? 2. The Brie cheese betrayal. Cheese has always carried an air of comfort, but on August 24th, federal officials confirmed that a luxury Brie sold in New York is carrying something far darker, Listeria monocytogenes, one of the deadliest pathogens in the food chain. Shoppers paying a premium for this cheese thought they were choosing something purer and safer. Instead, they were handed a bacterial Trojan horse. Unlike Salmonella that hits within hours, Listeria is a ghost. It can hide inside your body for up to 70 days before unleashing fevers, miscarriages, or meningitis. For older Americans or pregnant women, this isn't a stomach ache, this is Russian roulette with cheese. According to CDC data, about 94% of people infected with Listeria end up hospitalized, and nearly 1 in 5 die. The scandal grows darker when you realize the US didn't even catch it. The recall only happened because a foreign health authority raised the alarm. This should make us wonder how many other infected imports are sneaking through customs while the FDA stretches its thin budget across millions of products. People buy these imported artisan cheeses thinking they're avoiding the chemicals of factory food. Yet, the very rustic, wood-aged qualities that make Brie seem wholesome are the same features that help bacteria thrive. Are shoppers chasing health and class, only to buy their own hospital tickets? 3. The fake USDA meat scandal. What if the symbol you've trusted your whole life, the USDA inspection mark, turned out to be nothing more than a cheap sticker? On August 22, 2025, the USDA announced a recall so alarming it shakes the very foundation of America's food system. 32,000 pounds of pork products were sold under a brand carrying a USDA inspection label that never existed. This was fraud at the federal level. A fake EST number slapped on meat that never saw an inspector's eyes. Families across multiple states have already eaten it, believing they were protected by federal safety standards. This meat wasn't pulled because anyone found mold or slime, it was pulled because no one ever inspected it at all. No swabs, no microbial checks, no sanitation logs. The human toll is not theoretical. Just 1 pound of pork tainted with E. coli could hospitalize a child or kill an elderly adult. And yet, this isn't the first time. Another small distributor was caught doing the same thing in 2021, paid a fine, and was back in business within months. How many more are out there right now, betting that regulators won't notice until it's too late? The bitter irony is that those forced to hunt for budget meats, retirees on fixed incomes, working-class families fighting inflation, are the ones at greatest risk. If even the USDA symbol can be forged so easily, what chance does the average shopper have of spotting danger? 4. The Middlefield Cheese Co-op threat. A name like Middlefield Original Cheese Co-op sounds like something straight out of a Norman Rockwell painting. But on August 24, that wholesome image cracked wide open. More than 5,400 pounds of cheese from this Ohio-based distributor have been recalled due to listeria contamination. This is a public health threat sitting in grocery stores and refrigerators. The contaminated products, Pepper Jack, Monterey Jack, horseradish cheese, and farmer's cheese, were marketed as 100% grass-fed and artisan-made. The very label meant to reassure them has now become a warning flag. Listeria doesn't just upset stomachs. It hospitalizes 1,500 Americans annually and claims roughly 260 lives, many of them seniors already fighting fragile immune systems. Even more disturbing is how this came to light. It wasn't the FDA waving the red flag. It was the company itself during routine internal testing. By the time those results came in, contaminated wheels had already been shipped across Ohio. This means sandwiches in school cafeterias, cheese cubes at church potlucks, and casseroles in retirement homes may already have been carrying invisible danger. What happens when the wholesome farm image betrays the very values it sold? Suddenly, the farmer's market feels no safer than a faceless factory, and shoppers are left questioning not just one brand, but the entire concept of local trust. 5. The Hepatitis A Berry Bomb. That morning smoothie you thought was protecting your heart may have been stabbing you in the back. Federal health officials have confirmed that over 41,000 pounds of frozen strawberries and berry mixes sold under trusted grocery labels have tested positive for hepatitis A, a virus that attacks the liver and can lurk silently for weeks before showing its teeth. These aren't niche imports. They're bags stamped with names like Great Value and Good and Gather, brands woven into the lives of retirees and low-income families. In other words, the very people trying to stretch their dollars with healthy choices are now swallowing poison disguised as fruit. At least 26 infections have already been traced to clusters in Florida, Georgia, and Indiana. The deception is galling. Bags were marketed as washed and ready to eat. But in reality, most cold packing plants never apply true viral kill steps. Hepatitis A doesn't die in ice, it sleeps there. Every cheerful smoothie bowl, every berry-topped yogurt was a round of viral roulette masquerading as breakfast. Internal FDA memos now reveal that red flags popped up back in June, but officials sat on their hands while tens of thousands of pounds of fruit from the same supplier slipped into freezers nationwide. How many times do we have to watch profits silence protection before we admit the system is failing? If our safety is optional, is health itself becoming a privilege only for those who can afford premium labels? Sometimes the food we cling to for health is the very dagger pointed at our backs. And the sharpest cuts come not from hunger, but from betrayal. When food safety collapses, silence kills. Subscribe now to join us in exposing the hidden dangers corporations never want you to know. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our daily content.